Hello, 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 and welcome back to our One Life to Lose series in Diablo 2. I am Saturn Cycle, and today we are going to be going after, was it Bloodraven? That what her name was? Bloodraven in the burial grounds. So we're going to go ahead and get on that. Where the heck is... So last time we cleared out the Den of Evil. Oh wow, we haven't even hit the thing yet. Okay, so we got a shortcut. We're just going to run back through the Den of Evil. Maybe a little less than a shortcut. But last time we cleared this place out, I spent a lot of time talking about the mechanics of the game, how much I love this game. Today I don't really see that changing. Like, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of random stuff while we're trying not to get ourselves killed. I got a cool new wand last time I was playing. Oh. What you doing, game? There we go. So I was, I finally got around to watching Titans. So let me say this right now. I don't hate Titans. I don't think Titans is nearly as bad as people say it is. I feel like the biggest downside to Titans, and I feel like people were so hell-bent against it and rallying against it because the trailer that we got for Comic-Con was horrible. It was one of the worst trailers I've ever seen. It was cut together poorly. It did nothing to hype up the buzz. If anything, it brought it to a screeching halt. I remember when the Robin pictures first dropped, and people were like, "Oh wow, he looks so cool." People were really hyped. Because the dude does look good as Robin. He plays a good Robin too. He plays a good Dick Grayson. And then people started seeing the other set photos of like Starfire and Raven, excuse me, or Rachel, and Beast Boy. Excuse me, Garfield. And people were losing their minds. People were mostly losing their minds because Starfire is being played by a black girl. And I'm like, one, Starfire is an alien to begin with, so what does it matter what color she is? It's a retelling. It's not like a page-for-page, you know, panel-by-panel remake of your favorite Teen Titans story. Comic book nerds need to get over themselves. And because it just comes down to how well the actress does. And I actually like the actress that plays Starfire. I don't know her name, but I think she plays the role well. She plays that kind of like, I can't remember who I am, fish out of water role pretty well. She's got a nice attitude too. So here's a cave we could go through, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I don't want to get bogged down in side stuff. If we need extra levels, we'll worry about it. But for now, we're gonna focus on what we need to take care of. So I think the biggest grievance regarding Titans is the fact that the trailer is nothing like the show. Like, the show is actually pretty solid. Like, it's not the best. Don't mistake me for saying it's like super good. It's okay. It's not the best show I've ever seen, but it's far from the worst. I've seen some pretty terrible shows. Titans is not one of them. It's serviceable. If you like the Teen Titans, it's serviceable. I mean, the chick that plays Rachel, aka Raven, she's kind of like 2008 MySpace kind of cringy sometimes with her. It feels like middle school when kids first got their hands on like an Evanescence album. That's what she kind of feels like. But I don't hate her by any means. The story's a little unfocused. Like, the plot kind of wanders. And I feel like it's because it seemed like they originally had a model where they were going to release it all as one series, kind of like how Netflix does with its Marvel series, or all of its series, I guess. It kind of felt like it was supposed to be binge-watched. But once they realized there was money there, and they have other shows they want to stretch out over time too on a week-to-week release, it's like they switched their model at the last minute, and you can kind of tell because there are points in the show where stuff just, it feels like more focus is going on something that shouldn't be, and then it gets even more attention in another episode, and you're like, oh, I guess this is supposed to happen continuously. Ooh, chip amethyst. Yeah, we're not worried about that. We don't have anything that has sockets anyway. But that's what I mean. Like, Titans, it's a decent show. It's a little unfocused. Okay, so we're here at the burial grounds.
Too many empty graves.
We'll come back to Titans later. We gotta focus. This is our first boss fight. So we got a lot of zombies. A lot of zombies to deal with. And Bloodraven has a bow and arrow, and she's very fast. She's very fast. So the last thing we want is to get caught with our pants down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on keeping our skeleton crew together, so that we're not, because like I said before, oh wow, superior club. Like I said before, what's gonna keep us alive is our ability to kill monsters as a group. If I can't do that, or if I let my crew wander off and fight other monsters, and I'm taking damage from the boss, we're gonna end up getting bodied really. So I'm gonna summon more. They're gonna eventually take out the zombies, and then hopefully they go after Bloodraven before more zombies end up showing their grisly faces. She's not hard by any means. She runs a lot. Like she's one of those bosses that doesn't sit still, and I hate that so much. Did I not hit her for that? So another thing about this game is healing isn't instantaneous. As you'll see next time I heal, it will be like a red outline that's semi-transparent, which can be interrupted. So it kind of takes HP off of that. Oh, I got it first up. Hooray! So while we're here, I'm actually going to go into the mausoleum. Because there's some goodies down here, and I figure, why the hell not? You know, let's beat up more demons. First, though, let's see what this Targe is all about.
Rest well.
Ah, Paladin only. Get out of here. Required level 6, which we should be there soon. I'm not really worried about that, so these are all stuff to be sold. Let's go find some more goodies, boys. But yeah, back to Titans. I like the direction the show takes Robin, because Dick Grayson has always been one of my favorite DC characters. He has some of the best character development in the entire universe. He's just a good guy. And that's what I like about him. And they kind of play with that a bit in Titans. I don't want to give any spoilers away, just in case anyone here wants to watch the show. Which, you know, I recommend. I recommend you watch Titans, if not for anything, then to form your own opinion. Because I know a lot of people, some of my friends included, that absolutely refuse to watch Titans because of how bad the trailer was. And if I hadn't gone in and watched it myself, I would have never known how, you know, somewhat decent the show is. Because the trailer, it makes it look like, what am I looking for? It makes it look like someone decided, oh, that's nice.
I can't.
Where does this go again? Oh, I gotta put it in a socket item. It makes it look like someone is like, hey, Twilight's really good, right? We could probably make a DC show like that, can't we? That's what the trailer makes it look like. But I promise you, it's at least 25% better than the trailer. Your measurement may vary. So as you can see, there's some spicy guys down here. We gotta be careful that we don't get cornered.
Not enough mana.
Last thing we want, oh wow. The last thing we want is to get cornered somewhere where there's a guy that hits us stupid hard. We gotta be really careful about enchanted enemies. So that's everyone. Pretty sure I can't hold anything else. So we'll throw this out. So we can take this cat. We're gonna identify this too. At the very least, like even if I never, like, because I know some people are like, well, why are you gonna identify stuff that you're not gonna use? Because at the very least, if once it's identified, it automatically sells for a higher price. So, for nothing, you know, it'll make us some money in the future. All right, so I guess there's nothing else to do here. So we can head on back to town, and then we can talk to what's her name? Kiyasha.
Hello. I can
Kasia.
hardly believe that you've defeated Bloodraven.
Well, I did it. And as you can see, she gave us a companion. And now we can, if we talk to
Yes.
her, now we can hire companions. And you can see they have like so you have like fire arrows, cold arrows. You can see what level they are, how much HP they have, how much it'll cost to hire them, so on and so forth. Well, we put that to good use later. Early game, we try to make the chick she gives us for free last as long as we
difficult to
can.
comprehend, let alone combat. There is
True
only
facts,
one
boy.
Haradrim sage, schooled in the most arcane history and lore,
Deckard Cain!
who could advise us. His
Stay a
name
while,
is
and
Deckard
listen.
Cain. You must go to Tristram.
So if you played Diablo 3, you know who Deckard Cain is. He's kind of an icon of this game. And once we save Deckard Cain, we don't really need to worry about identifying stuff in the field. We can come back to town and he'll identify it for us. For now, we are going to sell stuff to
Greetings.
our Boothang, which is not this lady. So this sells for 809. We'll go ahead and sell that. Damage to undead. We'll hold on to those gems. So, I never use spears, so I can't use this. Well, I mean, I could. Oh no, it's paladin only. I legit already had this discussion with myself. I'm gonna sell that too. Gonna sell that too. And then I'm gonna buy 3 of those. Now we're gonna go talk to Charcy, who's the blacksmith. And we're gonna see if she has anything really nifty for sale. There's another guy in this town, but I never talked to him, because you can buy
Hi
stuff from
there.
him, but it's
I'm
always a
Charcy,
gamble.
the blacksmith.
I know, babe. I know who
Good
you are. Ooh, good evening, baby. Okay, so we don't really want a new weapon for now, because our Viper brand is pretty good. So instead, we're gonna look at armor. Because we're gonna... Well, actually, we have good armor. This has a socket in it. It's pretty good. Acquired strength is 20. We're just gonna take... We're gonna take a belt. We're gonna take a buckler. And see, now that we have a belt, we have another row to put potions on, which frees up even more inventory space. So I'm gonna put some light and minor potions here. But then I'm gonna substitute out some mana potions. So... And while we're in town, let me show you guys. You do have a stash, just like you do in Diablo 3. It's right over here. Unlike Diablo 3, this does not carry between characters. Because this is not that advanced back then. So we're going to put these in here because we don't need them yet. I don't really see the need to hold on to them. We're going to be using this soon, so I'm going to hold on to that. Okay, so we gotta go... We did this. We are just powering through these. We had to go through the underground passage in the dark wood, well, to the dark wood, and find the tree Inifis. So, Cold Plains. Turn the map back on. Now we're gonna be headed this direction. So as you can see, like the game, once you get into a groove, the game actually gets going pretty quickly. So we've already taken care of Bloodraven, which that happened way faster than I thought it would, to be honest. Did they drop anything? Not worried about that. Because there are certain weapons, of course, like the guitar, that can only be used by specific characters. So we're going to try to find our way to the stony field. We just leveled up, so in a second we will take care of that. So like I said, we're going to put this to 5. Now this is at 5. We're going to start pumping stuff in Mastery. Pump our... We're going to push our Strength up. And Strength is mostly so you can hit certain requirements to use weapons. It's more that than it is actual outward damage. What is the shrine? We're going to try to get to... Oh, cool. We're going to try to get to the Tree of Inifis before this episode ends. Resistant to fire, fire enchanted. See, enemies like this can be trouble. See, I was kind of dumb to just stand there. I'm gonna take all this. This is my stuff now. My treasure. Oh, we got a resurrection boy. Where's he at? There you are. So yeah, we're gonna try to get to the Tree of Inifis. That way in the next episode, all we have to do is go a little bit further and then head over to Tristram and rescue Decker Kane. Because going to Tristram is like the next actual boss fight, because I forgot the name of the enemy. I think it's like a jailer or something. He's pretty strong. So we're gonna want to make sure that we're in a solid position before we head over there. Here's 1 gold. We picked up some stuff. Am I not level 6 yet? Oh, I'm only level 5, okay. 2 defense. Let's see what this is about. Poison damage over 3 seconds. It's 6 over 2, so that's still better. 2 to strength. So yeah, okay, we're good to go. So we gotta get to the next area. I want to make sure that we hit waypoints on the way there, just so it's easier to get to and from places. I don't want to get too caught up in having to cut footage because I have to run like an Olympic medalist from place to place. I kind of had that issue in the first Dark Souls. I love the first Dark Souls, but I was one of the people that was kind of happy when I saw that fast travel was implemented at the beginning of Dark Souls 2 and 3. Because after, like, don't get me wrong, I love the way the world folds in on itself in Dark Souls 1. But you gotta admit, you spend a lot of time running from place to place, and it gets kind of annoying. Come on. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. My heart skipped a beat right there. That was horrifying. See what I mean about, like, you get a little too cocky, you get a little too reckless, and next thing you know, you have next to no HP. Oh, God, my heart. You guys have no idea how hard my heart is pounding right now. When I saw my HP and I saw myself get poisoned, oh my God. So that's just more stuff for us to sell. I think I might have to take the smarter path and keep leveling up our HP instead of other stuff, because we're still pretty squishy. If I have any complaint about the Necromancer, it's that he's kind of squishy. But even then, it's made up for in the sheer number of companions you can have. And once again, I apologize for all the mindless clicking you're going to hear over the course of this game. not really I can do about that. Unless you can't hear it, in which case, I shouldn't have brought it up. Okay, how many skeletons can we have? 3 total. Is that right? Yeah. That always threw me off about the skeleton thing is how I'll have like 5 skill points in it, but I can only have like 3 skeletons. Shouldn't I have 5? But I guess that's the way to keep the game from getting a little bit broken with the Necromancer. Because it could be really, like, you could easily break the game if the number of skeletons you could summon reflected the number of points you put into the freaking thing. Sometimes those chests have traps, and that's not always fun. Just make sure I pick up all the health potions I can, when I can. I keep glancing over at OBS to make sure that it's still recording. The last thing I want to do is have some super good, super awesome 10 out of 10 commentary and equally, you know, equally appealing video, and then I look over and see OBS has not been recording. That would really annoy me. I'd have to have words with OBS. So this little cluster of pillars that's very Stonehenge-esque, this is where we have to come. Oh god. So once we get the scroll from the Tree of Inifis, we have to come here and touch these pillars in a very specific order, and then it'll take us to Tristram, where we can rescue Deckard Cain. But for the moment, it's just a matter of freaking eggs. For the moment, it's a matter of getting to the Tree of Inifis. Oh no, Our Lady died. Whoops. I honestly forgot her name that quickly, but she will be remembered. But that's what I mean about how enemies in this game, especially if they're enchanted enemies, they can turn the tables on you and your team really quickly. It's actually kind of ridiculous how fast it can happen sometimes. Life comes at you fast. Life comes at you fast. So, here is the... So that's where we have to be eventually, but we gotta find our way to the Tree of Inifis, which is... We still gotta go through the Dark Passage, which is it's gonna be somewhere along one of these walls. We just gotta get out of this cluster of enemies. Here, the Shaman Kings. Speaking of Shaman King, I'm gonna double to a different point that reminded me of that. Do you guys remember when Saturday morning cartoons was like an event for children? Like, I used to wake up at 7 in the morning on Saturdays. You know, wake up super early on one of my 2 days off as a kid, just so I could watch cartoons all morning. Watch stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kirby. I mean, if I'm gonna go super old school, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Goosebumps, Mystic Knights of Tumanog. That's a super throwback right there. There's a lot, and you know, I wish kids nowadays had stuff like that they could do or watch. So we're actually gonna bump this up one more to 6 so we can summon 4 skeletons, and then we're gonna start dumping stuff into the mastery. Because I thought we would have 4 by now. But yeah, I used to love Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, because they just used to be so much better. Like, we had Digimon, we had new episodes of Pokemon, we had Yu-Gi-Oh! We had, what the heck was that name? what was that thing called? It was it wasn't Mucha Lucha. I hated that show. It was Ultimate Muscle.
And so it came to pass.
That's another quest that we're not going to worry about right now. That could have been bad if I should have read that. I should have read that before I clicked it. What else was on Saturday mornings? We had, back in the day, there was the Mortal Kombat cartoon. There was the Street Fighter cartoon. There was Sonic X. There was... I'm trying to think of stuff that had like plot twists and cliffhangers and... I've consumed so much media since then that I can't even remember what I've seen. So there's the entrance to the underground passage. I'm just trying to find the freaking waypoint so that we don't have to worry about this area. Does this place, Stonyfield has a waypoint, right? I'm almost positive it does. Excuse me, kind sirs. Maybe it's over here. Or maybe it's way over there. I guess we'll find out. I love that the skeletons just kind of teleport to you. Oh, water. Water. Yes, please. So I guess it wasn't over here. Or... who knows? I don't necessarily need it. I would like it. Okay, so this guy's just extra fast. He wasn't anything important. We have a buckler, which is slightly enhanced. So we'll take this buckler. Enhanced defense. Goodbye. Oh my goodness. Plus 23 poison damage over 6 seconds? That is absurd for our level. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, everyone. Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Where the heck is this waypoint? I feel refreshed. There's a game that's similar to this that came, well, not Diablo 2, but Diablo 3. It was called Path of Exile. It's free to play and it's pretty fun. But here it is. So we're gonna go back and sell stuff real quick. It's certainly no Diablo 2. I do like Path of Exile. It's like a nice thing to play if you've played the hell out of Diablo 3 and you don't have access to this. We're gonna free up our inventory. We're gonna put that on. We're actually gonna keep this key this time. We're gonna buy 5 of those. We don't need any more of those. We don't need any weapons because we're still working with our thingy-malingy, our Viper brand, which is doing us a great service right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go push through the underground passage, and then we're gonna call it an episode. And then we'll take care of rescuing Uncle Deckard in the next episode. I'm actually pretty happy with how this is going so far. I don't want to jinx myself, so let me not. Because this game can turn up the difficulty. I forgot this area was divided into levels. I should have hired another mercenary while I was in town, because they can absolutely come in handy. More fire, like all firepower is good firepower in this game. Another amethyst. Like I'm not gonna turn up my nose at extra damage just because I have to pay for it. I feel like there's a joke in there about soliciting, about paying for intimacy, but I'm not gonna fault anyone that does that. I mean, I've never been there, so I can't relate, but... Hey, you do you, buddy. You do you. I'm not gonna king shame you. So, we gotta get through this place. This shouldn't take us terribly long. Unless we run into, like, a group of champion enemies that have super enchantments, we should be fine. The enchantments they're not as crazy as they are in Diablo 3, like Desecration or like the arcane orbital things that just ruin your day. There's nothing like that in this game. It's mostly stuff that's relegated to contact damage, oh geez, or buffing the enemies around them. That's not good. As soon as I say something about running into a group of strengthened enemies, that one does cold damage.
Enough mana.
This is why it's good to have an army, because under normal circumstances, I probably would have had a bit of trouble with that group. So we're gonna take the leather armor, and we're gonna take the healing potions. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep pushing. So here's a question for you guys. If you can make a dungeon crawler set in any universe you want in, like any book, video game, television show, anime, if you can make a dungeon crawler based on any of that stuff, what would you choose? I'm curious to see what you guys would go with. I don't want this. Well, come back. I don't need this. If I had to choose, I'd probably go with a dungeon crawler based on... That's actually a hard question. I'd probably go... If it's built like this, like an isometric, like a top-down dungeon crawler like Diablo 2, I would want a game based on... This is actually a really tough question. I can't even answer my own question. What is going on? Probably the... Wow, I cannot believe I can't come... Honestly, I probably want one based on the Dark Souls universe, just because there's so much to see in the Dark Souls universe. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Oh jeez. I did not mean to click that. Oh, it summoned a champion. Cool. Yeah, I would go with the Dark Souls universe. I think it's a really neat thing. I like the armor sets, I love the weapons. All of that is just so cool to me. Better armor. I would love to be playing in my favorite armor set. In like this top-down perspective, clicking around, killing stuff. Stuff like that, it's cool. It's super cool to me. I was gonna say I would want something based in the Persona universe, but I'd rather just play a Persona game, to be honest. I actually have been playing... I've been doing my New Game Plus run of Persona, and I'm like, man, this game, the second time through, that game is crazy easy. Well, I say that because I have a Persona that can only take 2 forms of damage. It can only take gun damage, and it can only take almighty damage. But it either drains, nullifies, or repels every other type of damage. It's kind of broken. My watch went off. Did something break? I could have sworn I heard. You gotta pay attention to your stuff in this game. Who's doing that? Ooh, this guy's roughing me up. Oh god. I really have to pay more attention. You know, I'm gonna go get more skellies.
I need mana.
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 Go back into pumping stuff into vitality. Because apparently, I'm terrible. You know, we are gonna go with the golem. Only because we need the extra. We need the extra damage, honestly. Because right now we're getting our goose cooked. Our goose is getting cooked by these enchanted enemies. I'm so glad that exploding damage did next to nothing to me. We're gonna have to call this episode soon. This one's running on pretty long. So we should be, you know, we're gonna call it right here. I'm actually gonna call it right here. So, as always, thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen so far and you want to see more of this hardcore series in the future, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you can get notifications when new episodes go up. I've been Saturn Cycle, you guys have been awesome, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.